This is my first ever podcast. So here I am in my governor's hall bed, about to prepare for a presentation tomorrow morning at 8:30. And you know what? I was like, screw it. Let's test this app. I downloaded it the other day. I don't even remember what it's called. You know what? But I searched it up. They said this was a good idea. Because I don't have any microphones, so we're just going through my phone. And maybe some of the words I say actually has some meaning to some people out there. As long as one person actually cares enough to listen to the things I have to say, then it is worth it. I'm not sure how long I can go on this thing, to be honest, because I have an iPhone 11 with 64 gigabytes of storage. I know it is terrible. It is not ideal, but I'll get a new phone one day. This is my first ever phone in my whole life. It's worked pretty good so far. So why am I doing this? I don't really know. Why not? I guess we'll start with this. In the fall, I was in a terrible place in my life. Just get caught in your head. Don't know what you want to do with your life. Feel like you have no purpose. But the truth is, you don't need a purpose at this point in your life. You live life the way you want to live it. And your true purpose will come out when it feels like revealing itself. And I'm not really sure on where I want to head with my life right now. I'm still figuring it out, but you know what? That's the process of life. You're figuring it out, and nobody says you have to rush anything. And there's no timeline on it. That's the good thing about life. You know, I'm 21. I'm just some kid from Cape Breton. I'm no one special. I mean, I'm just some guy. Anyway, why did I start this? See, I can't even answer that question. I don't even really know, you know. I like to talk, but I'm also a quiet guy. And I like to put things out to people. I like to entertain people. One of the reasons I try and make reels on Instagram for Superfly Athletics and the Film Society. If anyone listening knows what that is, the St. FX Film Society, it's basically just we play movies on the big screen and talk movie stuff for Andy Ganesh. It's pretty sick. Anyway, Superfly Athletics, organization within St. FX intramurals, all about positivity, all about staying silly. You know, we're not the most skilled teams. We don't have the most skilled teams in the league, but you know what? At least we have fun and we have a group of people. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. So, you know, I like making hype videos, and I like editing the interviews and that kind of stuff. But yeah, so why not put a little podcast episode out? No video, you know, just my voice. Me, myself, and I, you know, putting it out there. I did want to start one with Connor Sampson. Connor Sampson, if you are listening right now, I'm still open to doing that one day. Hopefully, I do have microphones at that time. But I think it's a good, maybe it's a good way to capture some memories, you know. Capture my 21-year-old voice while I have it. My 21-year-old perception while it's here. I could listen to this 9 years from now at 30 and be like, wow, he really did that. What was he thinking? But yeah. This morning, we did a role play presentation in sales. That was interesting. I was trying to sell the NHL to the NHL Fanatics jersey. Oh, my bad. An Adidas jersey. And I was talking shit about fanatics at the sales meeting. So basically, I was some arrogant salesperson who's like, thinks he's the shit, he's all that. Oh, Fanatics sucks, Adidas is the best type deal. And it was hilarious. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. Because then Connor came in afterwards as like the second sales meeting, and he knocked it out of the park and showed exactly what you should do as a salesperson, like shaking their hand, being positive, style flexing, just being a good person, respectful, not pushy, not being pushy, so that was pretty fun. One of the favorite things I think I've done here, I'm not a big presentation guy. I get a lot of anxiety with that kind of stuff, but I don't take any medication for that. I definitely tried the antidepressants, I'll say that much. Not for me. I got better anyway. But and you can too, trust me. Anyone having problems, you can always get better. Any problems are not consistent forever, It's all about your mindset and how you treat it and what you're going to do about it. So something that really helped me recently is this book. I honestly, this is one of the greatest books I've ever read, and if you have any problems in your life or the way you see things, the way you see yourself, any kind of situations that you view as bad, you can read this book and it'll help you feel better about your life, feel better about situations and how to handle them. And this book is called The Untethered Soul, The Journey Beyond Itself by Michael A. Singer. What a lad he is. A wise man, as wise as they come. #1 New York Times bestseller. You can fully step back into the self of your consciousness and see everything happening around you. You can eliminate any problems in your life. So basically, when problems come to you, you don't just try and tell your mind that, oh, this is no big deal. What you have to do is let them pass through you, Let it go. You always have to let it go. Not put it off. Let it go. And that's a pretty big deal. It's a pretty deep concept, not something I currently at 12:05 on April 1st am able to dig too deep into. But it's a pretty significant thing, and as someone who doesn't go to... I went to therapy for I only had 3 meetings. And that honestly, that was helpful, but in reality, I only got 1 meeting every month, and that's not really, I don't want to say worth it. I mean, it was good when I was there, but it was not consistent enough to see consistent results. So I had to do something outside of that. And what I could have done outside of that was medication, but it just wasn't for me. So I'm what's a more permanent solution where I can train my brain to feel better about life and all situations that come in my way, no matter what they are. And this was my solution, and it's worked. And I really do hope that someone on here has read the book or thinking about reading the book. It is one of the greatest things. People say life-changing. I actually mean it when I say life-changing. Some would view it as a religious book. Not really. I'm not a religious person at all. But it's a way of viewing your consciousness differently. Realizing that you do have a spirit inside of you that is different than your mind. When you hear your voice inside of your head, who is speaking? Is that you or is that your mind? And what is you? You is your soul. Okay. This is separate from your mind. Who is that second person inside your head telling you these things? Not to go talk to that person, or to put your head down. Put your head down. You can't be looking at this stranger. You can't smile at them. You can't greet them. All this anxieties coming up in your head speaking. Is that really you? No. It's not. That's your second person. There's two people going on. But you know what? These topics are so deep. Just trust me. Read the book. It'll be well worth your time. But what do I know? I'm just some kid from Cape Breton, 21 years old, going to St. FX University here in Antigonish, Nova Scotia. But yeah, here's, just a quick, a little over 10-minute thoughts for first ever podcast episode. What's the name of this podcast? I don't really know. Maybe that is the name. Actually, that's a solid name. I don't really know. What a podcast name. Question mark. It can be question mark. I don't really know. Question mark. But yeah, why not? I mean, Connor's not so down to make one right now, but you know what? I'll post it for myself. And if you care to listen, you'll listen. If you don't care, you can just do whatever you normally do. Scroll through reels, have some fun. That 6-7 name really died off, didn't it? The past couple weeks, no one's really mentioned it. If you were there in the prime time of 6-7, you know it was funny for a little bit. I think it was anyway. Anyway, I don't have a whole lot else to say tonight. I will say there was this check that was in my backpack. At the bottom of my backpack, I forgot it was even there, and it got crumbled. $152 crumbled. It's a piece of paper. All I had to do was cash it into the machine, but I forgot I even had it, and it got crushed by my laptop. So now here I am, placing a book on it, trying to flatten it. Hopefully it flattens enough to the machine, to the point where the machine can take it, because otherwise that's $152 I'm missing out on. And liquor's expensive. I have enough liquor. I don't need the money for liquor. What am I going to spend it on? I don't know. A couple good purchases I made recently. I bought a Kindle. That was solid. Definitely recommend a Kindle. I'm not saying pirate your books. I would never say such a thing. But if you were to, that is an option. But I would never condone such actions. Do not pirate books. But it can be done on Kindles is all I'm going to say. I've heard that from many folk. But don't do that. That's a bad idea. Do not pirate books or any other kinds of media. That is a terrible thing. Give money to the people who made their creations. But yeah, that's all I got. Habs won pretty big tonight against Tampa Bay. And shout out to Chandler for winning those bets. Pretty well done, buddy. Okay. Thank you, everyone. See you later.